The best and the worst can be found online, so let's cover this week's crazy online dating conversations for some laughs and some lessons. In this video we'll cover crazy profiles, weird messages people have sent, and the lessons we can learn from it. So let's just jump in. We always have to start with a good one, so let's see how this person opens, and the opening is, do you like to eat ass? And although this might be something very serious that you might consider when finding a partner or a one-night stand, this is still not the best opening line to send. So overall, if you want to go that route where you want to find out specific sexual preferences, just don't send it as an opener. And let's see how you should respond it. You're 33 years old, and this is how you know how to open up a conversation. Yeah, this is a criticism a lot of women have, is that overall, guys might not be the best when it comes to communication and understanding what women like to hear. That's also why these videos on our channel are so useful, because you actually learn how to text women very effectively. Let's go to the next one. Let's see what's being said here. Would you mind giving me your number? I don't check here often, but I'd like to buy you a cup of coffee if I can. Now, this if I can at the end is not good, but let's see how she replies. She replies with, where do you live and do you drink at all? Okay, so initially she doesn't say like, hey, I don't want to date you at all. She just wants to know like, hey, where do you live for logistic purposes? And then second, do you drink at all? Which is probably a reference to, hey, I prefer to go out and have a beer or have a wine, something along those lines, right? I prefer to grab a drink for a first meeting. I like to wait to exchange numbers until after we meet, if that's okay. This is a general an objection which some women have. Often you will see this a lot with like older women, let's say 30 to 40 to 50, and they just like to wait before meeting the person before they exchange numbers. Now, some of these women also have like high positions in companies, etc., so they like to stay a little bit more anonymous compared to a regular user who has nothing going on in their life. But this is something that you should not take personal. This is a common objection, and it's not something like, hey, I need to have your number. It doesn't work like that. It's great if you get it, but feel free to just respect her. And let's see how it goes. I like beer and wine. I live in X, Y, and Z. If you don't want me to give me your number, I won't force you. I am a gentleman. I will respect your decisions. Okay, so this is good. Let's see the next part. I don't think that will work. Good luck and happy Thanksgiving. This is not personal. She might like you, but she just doesn't feel comfortable yet. Like, you need two things. You need her to be attracted to you, and you need a certain level of comfort. If the comfort is not there, don't bash it and be like, okay, then go away, go away. That's not how it works. So if you would have just keep going, and after this went on an amazing date, and after that be like, hey, what's your number? Everything will be fine. You're shooting yourself in the foot if you do these kind of things. Okay, let's see what this person has on their profile. About me, I want to slaughter people. So yeah, I mean, everybody has intrusive thoughts, right? Like, everybody sometimes thinks like, ooh, I want to harm somebody else. Maybe not everybody, but a certain amount of people. You might have them from here and there, right? Should you put them on your dating profile? That's the question we have today. And the answer is, no, you should not. Like, in general, if you have thoughts that other people might find offensive and it's not funny at all, try to avoid putting them on your dating profile, because not a lot of women are gonna swipe right on this. And reality is as well that they might report you because this is obnoxious. Okay, let's see what's going on here. So he opens her on Hinge and he says, so they got Victoria's Secret angels working retail now. Shame on them. And I like this opener. It's like a compliment, but like a cheeky one with like something fun attached to it, you know. So this is overall a pretty good opener. And then she replies with, best answer, 10 out of 10. Yeah. Maybe I'm too old for this. Anyway, raw, but can the best answer get your number? And with some more emojis. Okay, I understand that you like to get a reward for the fact that you came up with a very good line, but as we stated before, women need a lot more than one good message. Like, one good message might get you a lot of points, but probably not enough points to actually get her number. And as she stated as well, but it will take a little bit more of convincing to get my number, sweetie. Here she's using price framing, right? As in like, hey, I am the price, you should be working for my number. And that's also because you framed it as in, get the best answer can also get your number, right? So like, you put yourself in the person who's chasing, which is not ideal, but overall, if you would just keep the conversation going, you're on a good roll. But don't expect women to like instantly go from no to yes, right? So they start with a no to a maybe, and you want to get them to a yes. And often with guys, what we only need is we just need to see a pretty girl. And if she is like, hey, let's go out, you'll be like, yeah, sure. Because what we filter on is mostly looks. But women also filter on like, hi, how is your communication? Do I feel safe with you? Do I feel like there's potentially a future? Like all these things that women like to focus on. And you try to like go from one good line to like, hey, I'm worth it to go out on a date. It's just not right there. But it's not terrible. You do a good job. But after this, just keep going. Okay, next one. Who's going to carry the boats? Now, I love women that like have a little bit of my culture, right? That like David Goggins, like Jordan Peterson, like the people that we as men look up to. So if a woman sends you this, like, hey, that's a great plus point. And then he says, depends. Is this David Goggins' boat? And then she's like, yes, lol. Yes, I can carry that. I carry the log in my pants all the time. Lol. We all know what he's referring to. Anyway, and then she implies that she doesn't understand what he's saying, right? Now, whenever a woman doesn't feel comfortable when it comes to like sexualization because it goes too fast, because like in general, women will take that slower compared to men, and some women will never have a sexual conversation with you on a dating app before meeting. After that, they might go completely bonkers and send you all kinds of weird, messed up things. But before meeting, a decent portion will never want to sext you, right? So keep that in mind while you send all the sex messages, that a lot of women are just not interested in that at all. Okay, so she replies with like pretending that she doesn't understand with like poop. She's like, no, the dong is what I meant. The dong is what I meant. Okay, yeah, this is not stuff you're going to be sending and getting a good reply to, because if she knows what you're talking about. If she wants to engage into that conversation, she would have already done that. Since she doesn't engage into your sexualization, just drop it. Don't talk about it anymore. And then after this, he sends the message, what are you up to today? Now, what are you up to today can be seen as like a pre-closing, like you are going towards it. But if you say something, then it's not perceived well. The worst thing you can try to do is like from that point on, try to take it forward. You need to build up a little bit momentum again, because like you just had your shot, you took it, you missed, and then you don't want to like instantly go for another shot. That's not what you want to do. You want to reload. So in that situation, reload so you can take another shot in a little bit. Don't say that you need a text for the next 2 weeks before you get another shot, but wait a little bit longer. Okay, then the girl has on her profile a picture of how she looks, and then a meme that says, instant rice cookers have gone a long way since 1945. Wow, this is very messed up. Like, okay, it's a little bit funny, right? I like edgy humor, dark humor, it's good. And in general, if you're a girl, you can get away with a lot more compared to guys. Like sometimes I will be making jokes that are a little bit more dark, and the women will just constantly like not like it because their sense of humor is just less dark compared to men, right? We make jokes about things we might not need to make jokes about. Anyway, is this a good thing to put in your profile? If you're a girl, you can get away with it probably a lot easier. If you're a guy and you put this on your profile and you get, let's say, 10 Asians in a row, you get 10 times reported in a row, and you might lose your account. Because even though like, let's say 20% of the population might find it funny, like all the people that don't find it funny are probably people that it's going to talk about. It's very easy for dating apps to ban you based off of like memes that are way too edgy. So try to avoid this. Okay, let's go to the next one. Hey. And the other person responds with, hello, love, how are you? And the other person replies, hey, sorry, I'm going to delete Hinge, bye. Yeah, the reality is like Hinge is not a permanent thing. People are on Hinge just for a temporary amount of time, and it's for various amounts of reasons. People get overwhelmed, people get busy, people get relationships, people go back to previous relationships, people start dating the people that they meet on Hinge. So don't take it personal when you match somebody or text somebody and they're not interested in making that further, right? They might have already been on 3 dates with somebody they kind of like, and they might want to give it a shot. And then when your conversation was at the end of this period, it's fine. Don't bother by it. Get over it. Let's go to the next one. Okay, guy that's 40 years old. Before you read my bio, you must read this disclaimer, okay? I have 3 kids and 2 psychotic baby mamas. Okay, having 3 kids is negative. Having 2 psychotic baby mamas is even worse. I'm pretty much a single parent for my youngest 2, age 7 and 8. All right, I'm a 4-time felon. Okay, yes, okay. If you want to be honest up front, sure. Let's see what else he has to say. I just hit paper time. Sorry, I'm not like an illegal person that does bad things. I don't know what the heck that means. Almost really truly done with this gnarly stuff in my life. He says almost, like I'm not convinced it's really almost. A little bit of bad boy, sure. A bad guy, I think I've grown up past these things a decade ago. I'm pretty much all of my skeletons in my closet. You hard enough for that? If yes, let's do it. No, let's do it still. Some guy had an experience, posted images of like a model on a dating app and then said like that he did a very bad thing. One of the things that they found is that they were still able to get tons of matches, tons of dates, and tons of girls that would be completely okay with the fact that they had like a past that's super messed up. Now, will that be the case for this guy? Probably not, because even though women like a dangerous guy, they also need to feel safe. This is just red flag on red flag on red flag on red flag. So a guy like this just is not going to get a lot of matches, and this is kind of like really messed up. So I recommend him to rewrite this a little bit so it might sound a little bit better, because it's also not very well written. Okay, let's see his next. Oh my god. So this is the same guy, and his next photo is, I'm looking for someone who can match my sex drive. And I always tell people I don't like selfies and like bathroom selfies, but like it's even worse if you're completely naked. And then, oh my god, and then like you can even see in his eyes how messed up he is, you know, like you see like criminals and they have a certain type of look. This guy has that look. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, so this guy is 42, in his bio is 42 and still not 100% sure where a woman pees from. What women would like you to do is be competent in a lot of aspects. Competent is attractive, right? That's why a lot of women will date men that are competent in different areas, and some of those men are not even rich, they're just very competent in a certain area. And that way, for example, if you have a guy that's very competent in dancing, very competent in like a music instrument, right? You have artists that are broke as hell, but like women like their competency. Another aspect that women like when their partner is competent in the bedroom, because there's just a lot of men that give women a bad experience in the bedroom, and overall it's just not very nice for them, right? Like you might be able to like get the job done, but if they're not getting the job done and they're just frustrated, they don't like that. And this kind of shows that you don't really understand the women's sexual organ, and I don't think women will like that part. Anyway, let's see the next one. Hey picky, short-term fun, what does that even mean? And then he says, it means I like to have a good time with you, love, have fun experiences, but without any emotional attachment, and that we are both going towards goals and a relationship will get in the way. Now, a note about that is that if you have a relationship with a good partner, they will not get into a way of like you reaching that goal. Like some people will like put you back, but tons of people can be like very supportive. Like you can find a partner that will be there for the times when you're struggling a little bit, will motivate you, all those kind of stuff. So purely like seeing a relationship as something that will hold you back is not the way to go. If you look at a lot of the most successful people, they all had relationships. Okay, good luck out there, love bug. I'm sure it's for plenty, but not for me. I appreciate the forwardness. And then he says, good luck to you. You're really pretty. Hope you find a husband. And that's reality of online dating as well, right? Like some people are out there with different preferences to what you want. And it's totally okay to be like, hey, you want this, I want this. I don't think it's a great match. I hope you have an amazing day. That's just awesome to see. Well, that was a nice way to end this video. Subscribe so you don't miss next week's online dating laughs and lessons. If you want to get more out of Hinge, make sure to check the video that you see on screen right now. See you next week.